Do you really need shin guards for Muay Thai class?
Find out. To answer that question, we need to find out what are shin guards.
So basically, shin guards are more or less gloves for your feet and your shin. So they're protecting any injuries that can happen and just generally providing a bit more protection.
So they do what they say. They protect your shin and they protect the top of your foot. And you just strap them around and then you're good to go, right? So that's what a shin guard is. And now, when will you use these shin guards?
Well, more or less, you'll use them when you're sparring and when you're doing something called Dutch drilling. So you just have a bit more protection on when you're doing Dutch drilling. I can check your kick like that, you know, just having a bit more protection. But you'd only really use it. I mean, in our gym, we use them quite often.
Yeah, because we hold pads for each other. So depending if you hold pads, you'll be using them. But the only real times you're going to be using them in the gym are sparring and pad holding.
Bless everything. I'm Dylan.
And this is Eli.
We're Muay Thai Bros.
Peace.
Please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. What they're mainly used for is, as we say, is protection. So the worst thing you want in Muay Thai is the shin on shin contact. If it's just shin on shin contact without no protection, then you're really going to get hurt. And no one likes that shin on shin connection, you know. So it's just good for me and it's good for my partner. Because if I kick you with my shin, if I kick you with my shin, it will provide that extra bit of protection, not just for me, but also for Eli.
Definitely, and it allows you to do more in the week, right? So you're optimizing your training. If you're always kicking shin to shin, your bones are only going to be able to take so much of that before, you know, you can't walk anymore. Wearing the shin guards is allowing you to train more optimally throughout the week. You can take more kicks, you can block more kicks, so you get more out of your training in the week.
So we have a review of what I consider a pretty decent entry-level shin guard called the RDH shin guards, and you can look at it up below. But especially important for beginners, because most beginners, they're not going to turn their kicking when they kick. And I know as a beginner, I had a lot of foot pain. So most beginners, they're just going to kick like that, straight with the foot. And if you didn't have the shin guard there, oh man, that would be pain.
Definitely, and for me, one of the worst things that I experienced when I was starting was I used to kick people's elbows a lot.
Yeah, and the elbow is more important.
And when someone's elbow goes in straight into your shin, it's such a sensational feeling. Your whole bone goes numb. You know, you can't walk for half a second, and it's not a nice feeling. You know, especially if you're in the middle of sparring. Boom, you kick an elbow, your whole leg's dead, and now you're on one leg, and they're just gonna terrorize you, right?
That's what I'm saying.
That was my pet peeve, kicking an elbow. Until you learn how to turn your kick in and, you know, start to develop kick speed and precision, you're going to make these mistakes as a beginner.
That's why you need the shin guards.
Exactly.
But we don't say it's the #1 priority. As we said before on this channel, it is the boxing gloves and the hand wraps.
Definitely number one for me.
You need. But after that, probably shin guard.
Definitely, because everyone needs to do sparrings for you to learn, or for you to be able to put into practice what you've learned during the week. It's a good indication of if you're actually learning what the teacher's teaching you, or if you're just, you know, passing by on the pads, and then you'll see what stuff works for you. You know, does the jab 1, 2, a hook work for me? How do I like protect myself? And having shin guards on takes a bit of that focus of you, I don't want to injure myself in the sparring.
Because then you don't want to think about whether or not you're going to injure yourself, because that's going to make you likely more to injure yourself.
Exactly.
It has that bit of protection, you know?
Of course. I mean, there's nothing like going into a fight and then you see it all the time in Thailand. By the time they're finished, their shins are lumpy and bumpy, bruised up, different colours. So wearing the shin guards in training is just going to help you to keep, you know, the volume of training throughout the week. And as you know, especially over in Thailand, they have very high volumes of training.
Now, one thing we don't be shin guard boy hitting the bag, because we've seen a couple of people training and they'll hit the bag, heavy bag with shin guard. I guess it depends on the heavy bag in your gym, because our heavy bag is just something wrong with it. It's super hard. But generally,
heavy metal bag.
Heavy metal bag. But that's why you want to condition your shins by hitting the bag without shin guards.
Yeah.
But generally, as a beginner, in terms of what would you recommend someone should buy shin guards? How much price range is someone expected to pay, you think, for an entry level?
So for me, if I was starting Muay Thai today, I would probably I would try and get an entry level pair if I wasn't sure about it. But having known like what kind of quality you get for your price, I would always recommend that someone gets something just a little bit above what they were going to get at the first place. one thing you don't want to have to always think about is are my shin guards going to stay on? Are they comfortable? Are they going to protect me? You just want to know that the quality and the price, they match to each other. And that's what normally happens with Muay Thai gear. You pay a bit more money and you get something that's going to be a bit more durable. And that's what happens with these top brands. So I would say invest in something a little bit better and you'll get a lot more life out of it, especially if you look after it, and it's going to provide you protection without the worry of it having to like move about during sparring, and that's not
the
what
problem with the shin guard I mentioned, is it always moves about. It's all about the straps with the shin guard, because if the straps aren't good,
it's the straps and the Velcro, definitely. The
strap and the Velcro and everything, because if that has a problem, then the whole thing falls apart. You know, it's like a glove when it starts to break. It's it's not a glove anymore because it's not protecting you.
Of course, and that poses the question of how durable are shin guards. And one of the things you have to think about is that how often do you use shin guards in a week?
3-4 times a week.
Yeah,
depends on the gym.
Exactly. Over in Thailand, you hardly use shin guards because you're getting someone hold pads for you, so your pad holders always got their shin guards on. You don't need them. You want to condition your shins on the pads. You will use them in sparring, so that's once a week. If you're doing kicking drills, okay, you might put them on again. So maybe twice a week, 3 times a week max. But over in the UK, and we hold pads for each other, so we're going to be using them, 3-4 times a week. Then plus your 1 week sparring. So depending on where you're training, it's going to show how much you need that kind of item. And shin guards in the UK, definitely going to need them, especially if you're looking to train multiple times.
So to summarize, you need shin guards because they're boxing gloves for your hands, for your legs, and they protect the shin and the feet. And especially as a beginner, because your kick form is going to be very bad, you're going to need that extra protection.
Yeah, it's not just protecting you though, it's protecting your partner and making sure that you can keep the high volume of training in the week. It's just going to, it's peace of mind when you're training and sparring, that you're not going to get injured, or that if you do, it's going to take some of the sting out of it. You're going to be conditioning your legs whilst you're doing it still, because you're going to have that contact. It's just not going to be a training session finishing injury. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you want.
So it's more or less everything. I'm Dylan.
And this is Eli.
We're Muay Thai Bros. So please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. And yeah, peace.
Peace.